I have a super interesting segment here for you. I want to start with a clip of Fox News host Sean Hannity being told to his face that he is bad for America, that he puts his ideology above the facts and then teaches his viewers to do the same. Incredible clip. Rarely do we see bluntly to the face of these dishonest figures the truth about them spoken. So play that. Then I'll show you this exact reality in action. Sean Hannity, Kayleigh McEnany losing their minds over the fact that certain networks would dare to cut away from or not show Trump's victory speech in Iowa. So first, this clip, like I said, a really good one comes from an interview Ted Koppel did with Sean Hannity. This is from years ago, but I saw it recirculating yesterday, I think it was, online, and I'll play it for you. Then again, we'll see all of this in action.
We have to give some credit to the American people that they're somewhat intelligent and that they know the difference between an opinion show and a news show.
Yeah.
You're cynical. Look at that. Yeah.
I am cynical because,
You think we're bad for America? You think I'm bad for America?
Yeah.
You do?
In the long haul, I think you
Really?
and all...
I'm just going to pause it there and then I'll play the rest. I love that. He asked it as if the answer couldn't possibly be a simple yes. And Ted Koppel goes, yeah, exactly. I think you're bad for America.
In the long haul, I think you
Really?
and all these opinion
That's
shows...
sad, Ted.
No, you know why?
That's sad.
Because you're very good at what you do, and because you have attracted a significantly
You
more
are selling the
influential...
American
let me
people
finish
short.
Let me finish the sentence
I'm
before
listening.
you do that.
With all due respect.
Yes.
Take the floor.
You have attracted people who are determined that ideology is more important than facts.
And that's exactly it. People truly place their ideology, their political motivations, their belief in something or someone, in the case of MAGA supporters with Trump, above facts. Now, with someone like Sean Hannity, I do think he knows often that he's inaccurately presenting things, but he thinks that is justified because he's fighting for the right side at the end of the day. Okay, I'm cutting corners, I'm being dishonest here and there, but ultimately it's for the more honest side, the more honest cause, which gets real dangerous real fast, as we've seen. Then you have the viewers of Fox News, the supporters of people like Trump and fans of people like Sean Hannity, who don't walk around thinking, I put my ideology above facts, above accurate information. But they subconsciously sort of decide that they'll suspend disbelief on certain things. They'll buy into things they'd otherwise perceive to be illogical because of their dedication to a belief about Donald Trump or about the right-wing ideology generally. And everyone can do this, obviously, and everyone experiences confirmation bias. We all would prefer to hear something, to be presented something that confirms our beliefs rather than contradicts them, usually, unless it's a belief that we hate having. But usually it feels better to be told you're correct, right? But it's the willingness to, when presented with contradictory evidence to your beliefs, change your beliefs. And that's what, especially in the MAGA cult, is nearly impossible. Now, 70% of the Republican Party believes the election was stolen. No evidence of it. And lots of evidence has been presented time and time again to the contrary, but people still believe it because a lot of their current belief and their current belief system is built on the foundation of the election was stolen, the Democrats are evil in that sense, or they stole it from Trump, meaning everything Trump has done since then is justified. And so all this stuff would crumble down if they accepted the fact that the election was legitimate. And that's just one example of these lies that then become foundational to people's belief system. So then it is prioritized, again, subconsciously for followers, sometimes consciously for leaders. It is prioritized to keep believing the thing they believe, then make sure that the thing they believe is accurate. And it's really scary. Now, here is an example of this dishonesty from yesterday. Fox News was very upset that CNN and MSNBC didn't feel the need, they're not obligated to play all of, or really any of Trump's Iowa victory speech, especially given that they know for 100% certain that Trump will tell a bunch of lies on their airwaves if they do broadcast it. So here is Sean Hannity, then we'll get to Kayleigh McEnany.
Now, let me inform anybody that may accidentally pop onto fake news CNN. Jake Tapper is not a journalist. He's a political hack. He's a Democratic operative. He's living a lie. He just needs to be honest about who he is. Jake, it's clear you have a deep-seated left-wing bias and supreme hatred for all things Donald Trump. Just tell the truth about who you are. You are a left-wing radical talk show host. You're not a journalist, as you claim, and that's why we very accurately refer to you as Fake Jake.
Wow. Then here's more.
Tone. But apparently, according to part-time make-believe journalists and full-time left-wing hate Trump conspiracy theorists like radical Rachel Maddow, well, Trump's speech was too dangerous for the fragile ears of NBC's loyal viewers. They didn't take any of the speech live. Instead, no, Miss Maddow was lecturing Americans about truth and integrity. This is a joke, right? Serious question. Does Maddow not have any self-awareness at all? No one in the media mob has peddled more lies, more conspiracy theories than Rachel Maddow every night for about...
If you want to find someone who has peddled more lies and more conspiracy theories than Rachel Maddow, look around at your fellow Fox hosts and then look at yourself in the mirror. It's pretty remarkable. I mean, just the most shameless projection you can possibly imagine. And it is strategic. I do think someone like Sean Hannity knows what he's doing here. They are the propagandists. They are the blindly partisans. They are the dishonest ones. They're the partisan hacks, knowing that that's what he is. He's admitted it more explicitly in the past. In that interview, he was saying, everyone knows I'm openly conservative. He's fighting for his team. Now, what's aggravating is sharing your opinion is fine. I do that every single day on this show. Just labeling your show technically an opinion show doesn't mean it's any more okay to be dishonest, to dishonestly present facts, to distort facts. So sure, give your opinion, but you have the same obligation with a massive platform that you have, or really any platform, to still present the facts accurately. That's why I always explain the nature of my show is a political commentary show, an opinionated show. I'm giving you my opinions, but I do a lot of work to make sure the facts that I'm responding to are accurate, and then my analysis is aligned with those facts and is honest. But to defend himself from accusations of being partisan, of being dishonest, of being a propagandist, which is what he is, he preemptively calls or constantly refers to all the other media outlets as exactly what he knows himself to be, or the other pundits to be what he is. And so then he's preparing his followers to hear from other outlets that he's being dishonest, but they're ready for it. And that's just more of an affirmation of what Sean Hannity told us, which is he's the only one being honest. All those other outlets are being dishonest. Then here's Kayleigh McEnany, very upset with this same subject.
I am worried that the media has a plan, and we saw it play out last night, to just censor this man, Jake Tapper. What a shameful moment from a so-called journalist, as you exposed him, he is not, to cut off Donald Trump and say, you can hear him under my voice saying anti-immigrant things. He was not. Let the people hear the man speak, the leader of the Republican Party.
So, very upset there. And it's wild that anyone referred to. She's saying that it's censorship to not show someone uninterrupted. So she's saying media outlets are obligated, otherwise they're censoring Trump, to give him a free, open platform whenever he'd like. Anytime he goes on a stage, you should play all of his speech. Don't cut into fact check. Don't do any of that. No, they actually have an obligation to be responsible to their viewers and make sure they're not just playing uninterrupted lies. And they know for sure that Trump's going to go and lie every other sentence. And so it's dishonest, or I should say it's irresponsible, and it's promoting dishonesty to just give that sort of platform to Trump when you know what he's going to do with it. Now, if you want to play a clip, break down why it was dishonest, respond to it, perfectly fine. I do that every day. But just showing however hour, 2 hours of his speeches and not fact checking what he's saying, that is irresponsible. And now MSNBC, CNN, they are responsible in a sense for the deceit being broadcasted and people being misled. And so, yes, make sure you're reporting on Trump and playing moments from his speeches that are notable. But no, it's not censorship to choose what you do with your platform. That's completely and totally ridiculous. Does Fox News broadcast every single Biden thing without any interruptions? Absolutely not. Here's Trump, by the way, also angry that his speech was not covered by MSNBC and was cut away from when it comes to CNN, saying this at his speech in New Hampshire.
We're driving in the snow. You can't see three front. I mean, how you all got here. I said, will people show up? But they always show up, right? They always, because they love their country. But we were talking about a show and how corrupt the press is. And last night, it was amazing. NBC and CNN refused to air my victory speech. Think of it. Because they are crooked, they're dishonest, and frankly, they should have their licenses or whatever they have taken away. They put on Nikki Haley. She came in third, a distant third, a distant third. And
so he says their licenses or whatever should be pulled. They should be punished for not covering him as much as he wants them to. He also said on True Social a few months ago, our so-called, I'll skip forward to the notable part, our so-called government should come down hard on them, referring to MSNBC, and make them pay for their illegal political activity. Much more to come, watch. So it's censorship, according to Fox News, to not play a speech of Trump uninterrupted. Trump has that right under our Constitution to have CNN and MSNBC do what he wants. But it isn't concerning to them, or potential censorship if this ends up happening, for Trump to be saying, as he's running for president, that the government should come down hard on media outlets that he has an issue with, or their licenses should be revoked because of their coverage of him or lack thereof. That's just him proudly broadcasting his opposition to freedom of the press. They say they care about freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the First Amendment. Clearly they don't if they're okay with this sort of language. By the way, Trump's the guy who said, a massive fraud of this type magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. He called for the termination of the Constitution. I've read that so many times and I haven't memorized, so I'll just throw it at you as often as possible because we seem to talk about that far too little. But he called for the termination of the Constitution. Now he's specifically saying, and that one part of the Constitution, that's ridiculous too. The government, if I become president again, is going to come down hard on media outlets that I don't like. That's extremely dangerous. One more moment from the same Trump speech.
But when I left, which was ridiculous that we had to leave, but we had to leave. We have to follow the laws of our land. But what a ridiculous, isn't it amazing? They don't.
So it's ridiculous that he had to follow the laws of our land and leave office. Get this, when he lost. It's not ridiculous that you had to leave the White House whenever you lost the race for the White House. But he thinks in a less ridiculous world, a more reasonable world, he would still be president despite losing an election. This is not a democratic movement. Pretty stunning. I'll remind you though, some people will say, well, that's because he genuinely believes that the election was stolen. So technically it's not him being anti-democratic. It's just him being misled. He was told And now one of the guys investigating these very claims has publicly said that he told Trump's team that there's just no evidence. Trump hired people to investigate widespread voter fraud, couldn't find it, and still he perpetuates these talking points. So he at least knew at one point, maybe he deluded himself into believing somehow in this crazy universe in his brain that he lives in, that indeed he won because he's that narcissistic. But at one point he knew, and he is an adult, and we should be able to expect that he can observe evidence and realize that he lost. And so despite the fact that the election was legitimate, he is still saying it's ridiculous that he had to leave the White House. Not a democratic movement. It's so important to continue calling that out if you want more content. So right now, this is the end of our show today. If you want more, I'm about to do like 20 minutes more of content. You can get that at lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and you're supporting the show. So some people don't watch any of the bonus shows. I don't even know if they keep up with the content, but they're just supporting the work that's being done on this channel by being a member, and it's greatly, greatly appreciated. Again, that's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership.